So, good afternoon again. I'm your host, Latif Muhammad, coming to you straight from Florida. The Sunshine State is what they call it. But today, I'm going to get right into what I want to discuss with you today, which basically is, um, legal matters, right? But before I begin, you all know that there's going to be a new regime coming in 2025. And so we want to be prepared for the new laws and all of that good stuff that's coming up in 2025. Um, and, there's going to be new laws, like I said, possibly new sanctions and everything like that. So you want to just stay abreast as to what they are. Now, this podcast is not pertaining to that. That's not my message today. My message today is along those lines, but not exactly. So I'll get right into it. Um, there are um, companies out there that have been around for many, many years, and they are successful. They provide a wonderful service, and I am happy to be a part of one of those companies that's been around for over 50 years. And the name of that company is LegalShield. I've been a member of LegalShield since 2016. It has helped me through many situations. And recently, probably maybe a year and a half, I became an associate, and I wanted to share this information with people who I think may need it. It covers many areas of law, some of areas of law that you may not even think it covers. I just found out that this particular membership coverage, it covers people who are into uh, music management, right? So you want to know your rights as a business owner. Um, this is a company that or a business that can help you with that aspect as well. So it covers every kind of law. So, but the kind of law I want to get into now is not even a law, but um, I just want to share like 5 points, and then I'll get into my message. Um, so, Legal Shield covers um, in many situations, and it helps in a lot of areas as well. And so, one of the things that you are able to do if you have Legal Shield, you have access to experienced attorneys who can offer legal advice. They can review documents for you and your family and represent you in certain matters. See, unlike public defenders, these attorneys are not overlooked. They're not overloaded with cases, allowing for personalized attention to your situation. And that's the key message today. Like oftentimes, our population, our communities are underserved in many different areas. And one of those areas of being underserved is the area of law. You're not judged by the color of your skin. You're judged by the amount of money that you have and if you can afford a lawyer in your time of need. Typically, when we get arrested, we are, you know, given um, a public defender, right? And so we are entitled to that because based on the Sixth Amendment, which guarantees the right to an attorney, um, that's our right to do that. So whenever, if you happen to go to court and you just don't know your rights, that's one of the things that is afforded to you is a public defender. However, that is kind of, you know, it's a catch 22 because oftentimes when you go into the courtrooms and you talk to the judge asks you, can you afford a lawyer? You say no, they give you the public defender. And then the public defender, depending on how much they know about law or how much of a workload they have, they're going, that's how they're going to represent you, right? So with us, with Legal Shield, we have affordable legal protection. And so one of the biggest barriers in hiring a legal attorney is cost. And so we operate on a subscription model, offering affordable monthly plans that give members access to legal help without the high fees typically associated with private attorneys. And so we offer regular legal support for people who are in jail or involved in complex legal issues. Constant communication with an attorney is vital. And with a public defender, they may or may not be able to get to you in the time frame that you want. So, with Legal Shield, basically, it ensures that members have regular access to legal professionals, keeping them informed and empowered throughout the whole entire case. And so we want to also protect your rights. Legal Shield attorneys can provide counsel on how to protect your rights, negotiate better plea deals, or challenge unfair practices. We're not limited to systemic constraints like public defenders are, right? We support beyond criminal cases as well. So while public defenders handle only criminal cases, Legal Shield covers a broader range of legal needs. So you may need representation in a civil matter or a family law, or you might need even identity protection, right? We cover that as well. And this is the holistic approach. And we can provide legal issues that can prevent you from spiraling into bigger problems. So thank you for coming and being a part of King's Corner. I'm your host, Latif Muhammad, and I am here in the Sunshine State of Florida. And so one of the things we want to talk to you about, which is vital, we want to empower you with the knowledge to navigate in this legal world, right? And we want to be diving into the topic, how Legal Shield can bridge the gap between the rights guaranteed by the Constitution and the realities many face when dealing with the justice system. So, if you've ever been in a situation where you needed legal help but you didn't know where to turn or couldn't afford the high cost of an attorney, I believe that this episode is right for you, right? So, oftentimes we face the challenges of public defenders, or they face challenges, right? Like I mentioned before, the Sixth Amendment guarantees the right to an attorney, but public defenders, while they are dedicated and maybe well skilled, sometimes they often are overburdened, right? And they manage hundreds of cases. They may lack resources, money, and they may not have the time to give your case the attention it deserves. And so as a result, while hiring a private attorney is ideal, the reality is that many people can't afford one. And this leaves countless individuals, particularly in the Black and underserved communities, vulnerable in the legal system. But there is a solution, right? So this is how my service can help. So we offer affordable alternatives to the high cost of private attorneys while, addressing many of the challenges faced by public defenders. And so we have access to experienced attorneys. You're connected to a network of experienced lawyers who can guide you through your case, whether it's criminal, civil, or family law. And unlike public defenders, there's no juggling hundreds of cases. They are catered and they're concerned about your case 100%. Secondly, it is affordable. And so, like I mentioned before, it is a monthly subscription, but it's affordable and it's at a low monthly fee. And so you have the ability to access legal advice and representation without the financial burden that comes with hiring a private attorney. Third, it's consistent communication. With public defenders, you're not going to get that because they're juggling with many different cases and yours might not take priority over someone else's. So, if you're incarcerated, that's even more so. Right. So with Legal Shield attorneys, we are available to answer questions, review documents, and provide updates so you're not left in the dark. And we go far beyond the criminal cases. See, most people, they think lawyers just deal with criminal cases or criminal defenses, but you could be dealing with a landlord dispute issue. You could be dealing with a family law issue, child support, child adoption. You could be dealing with a living will. You may not know how to write a living will or develop a living will. Lawyers can help you with that as well. And so we have you covered in all of those areas. And so, I want to be able to put this in the proper perspective. So imagine that you are accused of a crime and the court appoints a public defender. And that's the premise of this talk today. Like I said earlier, they are overwhelmed and your case doesn't get the attention that it needs. Now imagine you're a Legal Shield client or a Legal Shield member. You call your attorney, you explain your situation, and they immediately go to work. They have the time, they have the money, and focus to represent you properly, right? Something that can make all the difference in the outcome of your case. Now consider this one. You're not facing a criminal charge, but you need help with a civil matter. Maybe you're being evicted, or maybe you have some situations with your employment, like some sort of discrimination. A public defender can't help in those cases, but we can. So now, we are going to empower. Um, we are going to empower. We are going to uh, uh, encourage. We're going to inspire, and we're going to the underserved communities. And so, for African Americans, Black Americans, and other underserved communities, access to affordable legal services is definitely crucial. And so Legal Shield helps break down systemic barriers by making legal advice and representation accessible to everyone. This isn't just about defending yourself in court. It's about empowering you with the tools and knowledge to protect your rights, plan for your future, and navigate the legal system confidently. Listen, family, I have children, and I'm sure many of you who are listening and watching this do as well. It's really not about the color of your skin. It's really about how much money you have in case you have a situation like that. So just imagine your son or daughter is, driving, good neighborhood, bad neighborhood, whatever. They get pulled over by the police, and you don't know it because the police officer just took them in and sent them to jail. With this protection, only thing they have to do is call their lawyer. We have an app. We have an app for it. They tap the app, they immediately get access to a lawyer after hours. It's an emergency. Emergencies don't stop at 5 p.m. Emergencies happen after 5 p.m. It happens on the weekends. You may need a lawyer. You have the app to do that. You can call us and we'll talk to you. We'll talk to your parent. We'll talk to the officer and see what the problem is. But you know what? Here's what I'll say. A lot of us, we feel like we don't need that service until, it actually happens to us. Like when we get into a car accident, we have car insurance. Why do we have car insurance? It's in case we get into a car accident. We'll call our car insurance company and say, hey, listen, I need a tow. I got into a car accident, and you exchange information with the other person or whatever. And that's what that's there for. You have health insurance, right? So you go to your doctor and you have to pay a copay every time you go, or you have to meet a deductible, right? But it's there. It's the same thing. You, your husband, your wife, your child, niece, nephew, uncle, grandparent can run into any kind of situation where you're going to need that service. And this is not just a, fly by night service. Like I said earlier, this has been around since 1972. So it's a sustainable company helping people in this state and all 50 states. But it's your choice. It's your choice. There's no compulsion in what I'm saying to you right now, so you don't have to feel guilty about it. But I'm telling you, it helps. It works. Listen, what if you are in the hospital, incapacitated? If there was a situation where a mom could not, if she had another child, it would be a matter of life and death for her. And she had to come up with a will because she had more than two children, and she had to have that kind of thing in place because if she were to pass away, who's going to take care of her children? That service that we have, it's for free. It's included in your membership. So it totally is up to you, but I digress. Listen, the service is there. It's only $37 a month, right? And that's not where I was going with this, but there's a need for it. If you live in a community that you can't afford an attorney, I would jump on this. If you can't afford to get your will done because you believe it's too expensive, I would do it. If you know somebody, a young child who was being mistreated, your child who was being mistreated in school, being bullied in school, and you felt like you done called the administrators at school and there's nothing that they're doing that can help you with this situation, and you know your child has been bullied, man, call LegalShield. I mean, I'm not even trying to sell nothing. I'm just giving you the reality of scenarios, right? You go to the department store, you buy something off of Amazon, because we don't really go to department stores too much. We buy stuff on Amazon, right? Or Temu, right? And it comes back and it's all messed up. And you're like, I didn't order this, right? Now, initially you call customer service and, 9 times out of 10, they're going to give you your money back or replace your item. But what if they don't? What are you going to do? Now you're getting frustrated. Now you want to make some calls beyond customer service. You want to speak to the manager. You want to speak to, whomever for justice, right? You call LegalShield. Listen, they're either going to make a call on your behalf or they're going to write a letter on your behalf. There's countless people who've used LegalShield who have called them for disputes because somebody like me can't get through, but I bet you a law firm can. They'll send a letterhead right to the head person over that company and results will come. Or they'll make a phone call to the person in charge. Results will come. Right? If you feel like you're being harassed because of taxes, or you owe some money to a company and you paid it off, LegalShield will write them a letter or call them and say, listen, cease and desist immediately. But listen, totally up to you. So this is how you get started, right? So all you got to do is you can go on a website, LegalShield.com. You can apply. You can register or whatever, and you get your membership. You can call me directly. My number is 386-265-7230. And I would advise that you try it at least for a month, right? And see if it works for you. Call them for countless things. Call them, about your property. If you got a business, call them to see, how you can make your business better, right? You just signed a loan, 50 billion pages, right? They do review docs. Call them and see if they can revise your mortgage agreement. You just purchased a new car. Before you put your name on a dotted line, you may want to make sure that the contract or the documents are in your favor, or it's at least fair. So, look, you want to sign up for the membership, and again, like I said, try it for at least a month. And if it doesn't work for you, you can always cancel the subscription, right? Same thing with identity protection. If that's what we do that as well. So as you're looking at my banner back there, you see PPLSI, that's LegalShield. And if you see on my left, it's ID Shield. So we cover both, right? Give me a call. My number is 386-265-7230. I hope to hear from you either way, right? I'll be happy to serve you. You have a wonderful day.